The final hours bled away in a nerve-wracking limbo. Thorne spent them in near constant, silent communion with the chamber. She projected complex narratives built from her growing lexicon. Their journey across the stars, seeker plus void plus endurance. Their loss, seeker plus loss plus sorrow. Their desire to understand, seeker plus knowledge plus query. The chamber responded with increasing complexity, light patterns forming fleeting, abstract representations of starships, of Petrov's dissolving form, a chillingly accurate cascade of dissolving silver points, and finally, a complex symbol combining seeker and threshold. The swarm remained calm, attentive guardians. Vance finalized plans. They identified a narrow service tunnel branching off the light library, leading deeper into the structure but offering potential concealment. It would be their bolt hole if the mercenaries breached the main chamber. Rourke and Chen prepped the sonic dampeners and static projectors at the main entrance archway, a thin, desperate line of defense against human aggression. Odyssey 2. Vance Rostova's voice was urgent. Raptor has entered orbit, deploying 2 assault shuttles, heavy signatures, powered armor, plasma cutters, likely breaching charges. They're heading straight for your coordinates. Eta surface, 15 minutes. Understood, Eva. Maintain record. Do not, repeat, do not engage. Protect the Odyssey. Vance out. He turned to the team. Positions. Thorne, can you? Thorne stood before the obelisk, her face set with determination. She projected a new, urgent sequence. Seeker plus threat, plus external, plus corruption. She visualized the assault shuttles, the weapons, the Omnicorp insignia. She layered the concept heavily with the dissonant corruption tone. The escort swarm reacted instantly. Their calm dissolved into agitated swirling. Their hum rose in pitch and volume, becoming a warning buzz. Glyph lights flashed within the mass boundary. Corruption. Defend. The swarm flowed towards the main entrance archway, forming a dense, shimmering barrier. The chamber's light dimmed, taking on a colder, more ominous hue. The message was clear. The threshold recognized the external threat. Good work, Thorne, Vance said, relief mixed with dread. Now, let's hope they handle the uninvited guests. To the tunnel, they retreated into the narrow, dark service passage, sealing the entrance behind them with a portable sonic barrier emitter. A flimsy door against the coming storm. They didn't have to wait long. The assault shuttles landed with bone-jarring force near the wisp. Heavy boots crunched on the obsidian plane. Voices, harsh and amplified, cut through the silence. Delta Team, move. Breach that arch. Alpha, cover the flanks. Remember, shoot anything that moves and isn't human. Priority is the central artifact. Plasma cutters flared, slicing through the ancient stone around the main archway with contemptuous ease. The escort swarm behind the arch boiled with lethal energy. As the first mercenary in heavy combat armor stepped through the breach, weapon raised, the swarm struck. It wasn't a river. It was a tsunami. A solid wall of silver slammed into the lead merc. His armor sensor screamed overload a millisecond before the swarm penetrated every seam, every joint. His scream was cut off almost instantly, replaced by the horrific of rapid disassembly. The swarm didn't stop. It flowed through the breach, engulfing the second merc, then the third. Pulse rifle fire flashed, vaporizing tiny clusters of units, but the swarm simply flowed around the gaps, relentless. The mercenaries outside opened fire, plasma bolts and high-velocity slugs tearing into the silver tide. Swarm fragments exploded, but the collective mass surged forward, a wave of annihilation out from their hidden vantage point in the service tunnel. Vance and the others watched the slaughter on Singh's portable scanner feed. It was brutal, efficient, terrifying. The mercenaries fought with professional ferocity, but against a foe that couldn't be killed conventionally. that flowed over barriers and consumed flesh and metal with equal ease. They were doomed. Within minutes, the assault force was reduced. Two scattered, dissolving components and panicked radio chatter abruptly silenced. Guardians indeed, Rourke muttered, a grim satisfaction in his voice. Serves the greedy bastards right. But Thorne looked pale. The violence, the aggression, it's reinforcing the corruption concept. Look, on the scanner, they saw other swarms, different hues, denser formations, flowing from other parts of the ruins, converging on the main entrance. The escort swarm, its task done, flowed back into the light library, but its hum was higher, sharper, agitated. Glyphs flashing within it were darker, more angular. They're not just defending the boundary now. They're angry. The whole system is destabilizing. Her words were punctuated by a deep, groaning shudder that vibrated through the floor. Above them, in the light library, the swirling constellations flickered erratically. The data streams stuttered. The ambient resonance dipped into dissonance. The central obelisk pulsed erratically, the curator glyph flaring with unstable light. The core, Singh yelled. The power fluctuations are spiking. The violence, the energy weapons, it's disrupting the primary matrix. The escort swarm surrounding the obelisk was fracturing. Large fragments broke away, swirling violently, their hums spiking into aggressive shrieks. One fragment shot towards the sealed tunnel entrance, impacting the sonic barrier. The emitter overloaded, sparks flying. The swarm fragment probed the edges, emitting sharp, discordant tones. Corruption. Intruder. They're turning on us. Chen screamed, backing deeper into the tunnel. They can't tell the difference anymore. The entire structure groaned again. Dust rained from the tunnel ceiling. The lights in the library flared wildly, then dimmed significantly. The curator glyph on the obelisk pulsed like a frantic dying star. The swarm fragment breached the weakened sonic barrier, flowing into the tunnel entrance. It wasn't the calm escort anymore. It was a predator, humming with lethal intent. Rourke raised his static projector. Doc, do something. Thorne stood frozen for a heart-stopping second, staring past the advancing swarm fragment at the chaotic light library, at the destabilizing obelisk. All her painstakingly built lexicon, her syntax, her commands, they felt useless against this primal, system-wide rage triggered by Omnicorp's violent trespass. The swarm fragments surged forward, a silvery wave of death. Time dilated. Thorne saw Rourke tense, finger tightening on the projector trigger. Saw Chen cower. Saw Vance step forward, pistol raised, a futile gesture. Saw the swirling, shrieking silver death inches away. Her mind, honed by years of deciphering alien intent, saw beyond the aggression. She saw the destabilized glyph on the obelisk, the curator overwhelmed. She saw the chaotic data streams, the archive in pain. She saw the swarm fragment, not inherently malicious, but reacting to system-wide trauma, perceiving all intruders as the source of corruption. Command wouldn't work. Veshetend was meaningless now. Syntax was useless. Nuance was obliterated by the shockwave of violence. There was only one thing left, the core thing that had brought them here, the thing Omnicorp lacked. The thing the swarms, in their initial moment of hesitation, had perhaps recognized. Humanity's flaw, humanity's engine, curiosity. Not the desire for profit, not the hunger for power, but the pure, burning, insatiable need to know, to understand the universe and their place within it. The drive that made Thorne trace glyphs instead of running, that made her sit before the obelisk and hum to the light. She dropped her slate. It clattered on the tunnel floor. She ripped open the comms channel, bypassing the slate's filters, maxing the gain on her suit's external speaker. She didn't shape phonemes. She didn't form words. She opened her mouth and projected raw, unfiltered emotion, the distilled essence of her being as a seeker. It was a sound, a tone, but layered within it was everything. The awe she felt entering the light library, the grief for Petrov, the frustration of incomplete understanding, the desperate, burning need to know who built this. Why? What happened? It was a question mark, given voice. A child's wide-eyed wonder, facing the infinite cosmos. A scientist's relentless pursuit of truth. It was asterisk, 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 why? Asterisk, asterisk screamed into the void. The sound, amplified and raw, echoed through the tunnel and into the chaotic light library beyond. The effect was instantaneous and profound. The advancing swarm fragment froze. The shrieking hum cut off abruptly. The units hung suspended, vibrating silently. In the library, the flickering light patterns froze mid-stutter. The dissonant resonance choked off. Silence. Utter, profound silence. Then, from the central obelisk, the curator glyph flared, not erratically, but with a pure, brilliant, golden light. A single, deep, harmonious tone resonated through the chamber, through the stone, through their very bones. It wasn't loud, but it carried immense weight and clarity.